Hi guys, it's me, just finishing again. And for this video, I would like to celebrate the Earth's 4.6 billion and 2-year anniversary for being in the cosmos. Yes, I would like to dedicate this Earth Day in 2025 to talk about this wonderful movie, that being Little Shop of Horrors, because the word "the" is too edgy for this. They decided to take it out for some odd reason. Anyway, this movie is I would consider it a remake. I would consider it a pretty damn good remake to boot, because this is basically a remake or reboot of the original Little Shop of Horrors movie back in 1960. But this is the 86 version. Let me tell you, I was looking forward to watch this and doing this video for it since way back when last year, because this movie I saw a first shot, and it was epically awesome. Okay, it was so good. But there are some things I gotta point about first. First of all, they mentioned Rick Moranis, a Platinum War. They have a link meeting with Audrey 1. The inspiration for the name for the plant. They mentioned Vincent Gardenia, which plays Mr. Mushnick, Seymour's boss. And they mentioned Steve Martin in here, which plays a very sadistic dentist. The dentist from hell, if you will. Even though most dentists are from hell anyway, because nobody likes them, or the filthy business. But also, there's a few cameos in it that they messed up with when they made the cover of this wonderful movie. Number one is Jim Belushi. He plays Patrick Martin in the movie. Next is John Kenny. Now, the funny thing about Kenny is that they feature him on the cover of this thing with a very interesting hairstyle. It looks like a piece of shrimp sushi. And then they also have Bill Murray as the dentist patient. You wouldn't know it, but his name is Arthur Denton in the movie. Then you have Christopher Guest as the first customer, whatever that means. So yeah, now let me see here. For those of you who see the movie, there's one guy that I missed when I rattled those names. Can you guess what role he plays? Yeah, that's right. They have the plant in this one having more of quite literally more of a voice in the movie, and he moves a hell of a lot more than in the original 1960 movie. I think that this is supposed to be like more of a faithful adaptation of the screenplay, because this is a musical, a dark comedy musical. And let me tell you, it gets really dark. It gets so dark, you want the power to turn back onto it. Anyway, the plant itself is played by Levi Stubbs. She was singers in the movie, in the band, Four Tops. I am not listening to any of their work, but I'm sure it's pretty good. He's also known for playing the Mother Brain in the show, Captain and the Game Master, which I haven't seen all the episodes for, but I heard it was so. But anyway, you think that would be a big seller in this, a famous singer playing the voice of the very sassy plant that eats people. Spoiler alert, he eats people. And look at this plant. Isn't that such a lovable face? Isn't that the face of a person that you kiss right now? Isn't that the face of a person you fling to mother? Now, before I get into the movie forthright, there's a few things I should mention that this movie influenced. Specific audio to the plant. And I just saw this right now, but the plant, the baby form of the plant right here that you see resembles I forgot the name of that Pokemon line, but I think it was introduced in Generation 4. It was the Dressing Bug type for that line. Anyway, it looks like that the first stage of that line. So this is that. And then there's also the ending for the Flower Power in Twist Null 3, in which the activist in the game, when you beat the game with her, she ends up wishing for all the world to be covered in flowers, and it looks a lot like Audrey 2. And you can't forget about the Sacred Game, probably the biggest influence in modern memory that I could think of for the influence to this movie, that was influenced by this movie. This Halo 2. Now you might be asking yourself, this is an alien space shooter. What in God's name could this have to do with Audrey 2 and those Super Horrors? Well, in the original copy of Halo 2, not the remastered version, but the original, they have one character called Grapevine, and he's the leader of the faction called the Flood. And this character looks so much like Audrey 2, right down to the mouth parts in there, looking a lot like Audrey 2. The internal structure of the mouth looks very similar to that, except this one, the colors are most dark green, where this one is purple, but it changes color to different different shades of purple, red, and all that other stuff in between. Maybe they represent blood, maybe they represent like a pitcher plant or something like that. But it's still pretty fun to see. So, I'll be to aside for now. Now, like you said, this is a musical movie. So, all the musical people in there do a real good job, including all the backup singers. Crystal they're named in the movie are Crystal, Chiffon, and I think Brunette. They're more or less like the Dream Girls, or I say a doo-wop band from the 50s, 40s, 50s, maybe the 60s. And the guy that made the song is the guy that made the song that Ellen Macon, the guy who did all the Disney Renaissance movie songs, like the Little Mermaid, Lion King, Mulan, Tarzan. So, pick your favorite, Aladdin. So things like that. But this began like this came out in '86, so more or less like the beginning of all that. Or before that, just at the cusp of the beginning of the Disney Renaissance. And if you listen to the song, if you watch the whole movie, you will definitely see that there's a little bit of a trend in this. Because in Disney movies, certain ones where where the princess or the prince in some movies tend to sing about everything they want and desire and all that, or just at random moments about anything random. It's called The Sky is Black. At night, the stars are bright. See, my video game is going bad. Something my romance is going poorly and all that. So think about anything and everything at random moments. This movie kind of like takes a gear and kind of spoofs it a little bit. It parodies it to the point that the people to think about it does stuff. Think about some of the most random stuff in the world, like bricks, like ladders, that's the kind of random stuff. And this movie actually was good at that. It's very comical in that regard. And I believe that not in the alternate ending, the original ending, but the secondary ending they put in there, I think that the trio of backup singers and whatnot, the one that go ooh ah all this stuff, I think they get eaten by Audrey too at one point or another. Thank God that the copy I saw was the director's cut of the movie, in which there's a giant Godzilla style Audrey to at the end. A giant Godzilla, bunch of creatures that Audrey choose, and they conquer the United States, and from there the world. So that's a real treat to see that. To the Godzilla thing. And I'll pose this question right now. Let's say if Godzilla was in part of this movie, who would win? But a bunch of these flower things? Or you think Godzilla would destroy him with his long range atomic breath? That's a real good question, and the main answer from everybody to see this. So of course, when I saw that they had this on YouTube free, this version, the standard version, of course, and unfortunately, it disappeared from YouTube a couple months ago. So I had to buy this. Let me tell you something. it was well worth the extra price because it involved extras and outtakes and stuff like that and commentary and things of that nature. So it was real joy to buy it. I was laughing at parts that I probably shouldn't be laughing at. But I'm with this show. I'm with the actual movie. So I could try to pinpoint the parts in the movie that mirror the first 60 version of it. Well, first of all, that's in color, so that's an improvement. Second of all, it's in a musical format, so that's an improvement too. Even though it's fun as well. You might not like musicals, but this one you'll like. So, we see Seymour played by Rick Moranis, who's a good singer, by the way. I know that this movie came after Ghostbusters, maybe not after Ghostbusters 2. I want someone to check on that, because I know that Ghostbusters 1 came out in 84. So, this came out in 86, so I don't think 2 came out after this movie. And I don't know about Spaceballs either, but yeah. So anyway, they have Seymour in there, and he's down on his luck, a nerd, with all the other stuff. He's in love with Audrey, played by Ellen Green, giving a rather nasally, kind of somewhat annoying performance here. I think he might did that on purpose because I don't think that's the real voice, but it's still pretty funny. And whenever I review that movie, the Last Airbender, whenever I don't get nauseous at the thought of that, I will comment on the Queen's Princess Yui's hair. It looks like a Johnson, but in this one, Audrey has hair that's much like that. Looks like a big fat mushroom cap, and it barely gets mussed up, even when Audrey 2 almost devours her in a way he reacts. So anyway, she goes to Mr. Mushnick's shop. I don't think that Seymour actually kills Mushnick in this one and gives to Audrey too. But I know that in the first one, I believe that he gave the plant the guy too. But this one survives. So in any case, the flower shop where he works at in New is hot. It kind of going downhill. And Mushnick, I believe he's on the verge of finding Seymour because he doesn't have enough money to pay for everything, plus hire other people to run the business. So, so what will poor Seymour do? Well, it turns out that he picks up a new plant, an alien green mother, and from a Chinese shop. This kind of falls into the whole weird Asian products are just strange. Again, you learn when the Mogwai comes from old ancient Chinese shop. But this is just a flower. I think that in the first one, he also got from a shop too in Chinatown. But it's also implied that 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 was a genetic creation, and that's a straight up alien. And a big green alien mother, if you will, to quote the movie. So anyway, we're also given like a little text message before this, like a scrolling text, and saying that, that, I forgot what it said, but it was green in it. It's also made by the same people who made, the Beetlejuice movie. Merv Griffin and associated with Warner Brothers. They're doing poorly. And then Seymour ends up getting this plant. And he's like, what do I do? I give you all the love I can. I give you all the love that you need. I give you lots of sunshine, lots of water, and all that. And he picks up some roses and he throws them aside, and then he pricks his finger, and then it's like sucking on a finger. Like I do sometimes whenever I injure myself like that. So So then he sees the plant that's imitating him. It's imitating the suckling motion with his lips. With his quote lips. So this is what I love about this movie. With the original. Because the effects are just so good. And so realistic. Whereas with the first movie, it was basically like a big sled truck. That was it. All they was just open and closed. That was about it. And it had very limited speech. When it was like, feed me, it was almost like a zombie. Like, feed me, and all this stuff. But with this one, it's got more articulation in the actual movement of the flower, and the lips and mouth. And this is done by legendary puppeteer and his crew, Frank Oz. You might know him from the Muppets or Sesame Street. Wonderful job. And the way they get to move so fluidly is what they do is they, from what I hear, I heard that, let's say they want to move it like this, they'll put it over here, then reel it backwards, and then they'll put the footage in reverse. So it looks like the thing is like sending its arm or its tentacle this way, with roots. Yeah, that's fun. Has more mobility and flexibility in the first one, because with the first one you had Seymour or others had to bring food to it, but for the most part, this one is basically stationary, but its spines can actually drag something along to it and you need it. Kind of like VSL, I couldn't think of it. So anyway, the first customer guy sees that this thing had become a big deal. It's becoming a lot bigger. And it looks somewhat like a penis, I'm not gonna lie. When it's upright, like the original movie, it looked kind of like a penis. But in any case, it is a far more deadlier than that. And the thing of it is that, too, is that, remember when I said that the first in the first movie, this creature was more like an open and shut type thing. It was very uniform in the way it moves its mouth. But if you look carefully at the mouth articulation, it looks like there's a bit of like unevenness with the mouth opening and closing. So it gives more of a natural feeling to it, and the body type open and close the same way type feel to it. Kind of like my mouth, where I open up my mouth very unevenly at times, and other times I do it more symmetrically. And that's actually a really cool way to do that. And of course they say the thing says, feed me, Simba, feed me. So eventually, gets to a sufficient size where now it craves more blood and more sweat and blood, literally. And it turns out that Audrey has a very abusive boyfriend with lackluster rides a motorcycle and just a son bitch to her because he beats her up. He gets a black eye. He is rude to her, and just in general, just a nasty person. And he played by Steve Martin here, and he's doing a very good Elvis impression, if you ask me, with the hair and everything. So he has to. So Steve Martin has to want to not kill the guy, but like kill the guy, so he could get an appointment for himself at the dentist's office. Now that's where Bill Murray comes into play, because like in the first one when he had Jack Nicholson in there, like one of his first movie roles, they had Bill Murray playing the guy, the dental patient, and this got a little bit too obsessed over oral surgery because he's actually enjoying it. He's getting off on the fact that he's getting drilled in the mouth. He's getting overly excited for it. Do me, baby, do me, drill me harder, harder, harder. Meanwhile, even though the dentist is a sadistic man and he enjoys giving pain to people, he's like, this kind of doing this. Where's the fun and enjoying it for myself? If this guy's having fun, too much fun with it, you know. But there's one thing that I noticed with this. When Bill Murray is getting all the drilling stuff put in his mouth, there's cotton and shit in his mouth, when he spits it out, it's pure white. There's no blood, no food, no nothing. So they should have made some kind of a quick change where they put like blood in it. And there was also a part in the movie, I think it might have been the page before Bill Murray, where they do articulation of a mouth from Steve Martin sings before it, before he does the drilling and stuff. And you see the tongue go up and down, and it's kind of like the same articulation as Audrey 2, but inside the mouth, rather than as such like with Audrey 2. And this funny part in the movie where Audrey is supposed to be with the dentist, like as a couple, but she fantasizes about being with Seymour Krelborn, Now, this scene looks very familiar to me. I'm sure that anyone who watches Family Guy will be very familiar with this scene too. Because she said something about being with him and having 2 children with him that look similar to the parents, Audrey and Seymour. And she looks at Home and Garden and thinks of herself as Donna Reed. That's fine. That's normal for a person to think without that. But the Family Guy spoof, oh yeah, by the way, there's also an animated butterfly or bird that comes in and talks to Audrey. There's no other animation like that in the movie I watched the lightning bolt that brought the plant to the Chinese shop in the first place. But anyway, oh yeah, during the clip, no less, I believe that this plant feeds during the nighttime, like that plant from Dennis the Menace. But in any case, they have this thing with her fantasy about him, about having appliances and, having like a home together with Seymour and being all lovey-dovey and all that stuff. But, when they actually showed this in Family Guy, they had it with Chris Griffin and Herbert the Pervert as Audrey. I didn't realize that until now. I was like, oh my shit, that's where they got from. And over the I spent my ass off when I saw this. Because not only is it really weird that Herbert refantasies about this with Chris, and that they have abomination little children that look like both their parents and things, and with the little crippled dog in the corner too. But also because Herbert fancies himself as the woman of the pair. So, first of all, I would never associate this guy with being feminine in any way. Second of all, how do you get 2 kids out of a teenage boy and a man that thinks he's feminine? That does not compute. It's so absurd and it's hilarious. Plus the fact that they have him do a whole Donna Reed line, because Donna Reed used to be like one of the ideal sitcom moms for the first couple of sitcoms that she was in. So she was like the ideal person that you create for both the movie and this and Family Guy. So it was really funny. And I was over there like laughing my ass off. Meanwhile, my father and my aunt were like, it's not that funny. But I know, from what I watched Family Guy. And if they saw the episode what I'm talking about, they would get the punchline. So then also before Audrey gets really big, Seymour goes to the gun. I guess you could call it a believe it or not type radio show where they try to have like weird and fantastic things to impress the audience and the guy, the host, played by John Kennedy. His name is Wink Wilkinson. It's kind of like that guy from the Police Academy movies and Spaceballs. The guy that can make all the sound effects with his mouth. it's very funny because, oh my god, it's so funny. If I didn't remember the scene now, I probably forgot the spoon part. But you know how some men get the kicks off of pitching women on the butts, when they bend over, when they're busy or something. Well, Audrey too, we're getting a little fresh there, and we all know that he wanted to eat people and get blood for nutrients and stuff, but it was just so funny that when you see him like this, obviously I don't have a mouth like that. You're doing this like, and the tongue actually almost touched the girl's butt until Steven saw what he was doing. Yes, they were like, no, and he grabbed the plant and he shut the trap. It was just so damn funny. Like, I couldn't remember if it really touched the girl's butt or if they did do that. Apparently they didn't do that, because obviously if Audrey were doing that, if Audrey were doing that, it was gonna be eat this woman by her ass first. But then but then she was weird, played out. It looked like she was gonna be assaulted by the snake first. And they also have Dean Belushi in there. I don't know where he's in the movie, but he's in the credits. So, yeah, there was that. Let's see, after that. So then, Seymour goes to the dentist after Bill Murray. And, and he's petrified of the dentist, as he should be, all the stuff going on in there. But this dentist gives him an old-fashioned drill and needle, and he is all rusted and stuff too. I'm like, get that shit out of my face right now, or I'm gonna be suing your ass. So then, Steve Martin wants a happy gas for himself, not for Seymour. So he puts on this whole big apparatus for himself. I think that this might have been like par for the course for like the 60s. Not only that, but he overdoses on it and kills himself that way. I don't know if nitrous oxide I could do that to a person. I need to check on that for me. If nitrous oxide kills someone if overdose on. So anyway, Seymour is repeats killing anybody, but Audrey too demands that the meal be chopped up in pieces for it to eat. So not only is it a demanding one, but it's also a picky eater. So then he's happy to do it because the guy was a bit of a bastard, What kind of bastard goes on a motorcycle date with a woman and then beats her up afterwards, and wears black leather and glasses for it too? Well, they used blue screen or green screen for this part, the motorcycle date, and for when they did the inside the mouth portion of the dentistry. That was very fun, by the way, because it was very good practical effects and puppetry. So then they show him in the shadows hacking this bite up and then feeding it to Audrey too. So as the music getting bigger, so it was too, until he ended up, it ended up taking over most of the space in Mr. Mushnick's flower shop. Now, as this thing gets bigger, he's getting more media attention and more customers are coming to the store. So Mushnick wants it to stay put in the place. And it was like, I don't know if I could take care of this, like, until eventually it ends up getting so big and so powerful that it can actually lift up itself out of the pot, and then it sprouts legs or movable roots so it can slide across the way there. Although it does all this lifting up and stuff in its weakened state, and it only moves like 3 inches so it can reach the phone. First it goes to the register, and then it reaches to the old, the old rotary dial phones and all that. Real good for the history lessons. I believe that this movie might take place in the 50s or maybe the early 60s, because they do stop the old cars as well as the phones and the old weapons and stuff. So, you see, I don't get why Audrey 2 even did all that, moved the stuff around and stuff. You can just stretch out its fine a little more, and then it would be fine. So, right before this, it says, Audrey 1 and I'm gonna loop, forget the plan, leave it to the cat Mr. Mushnick until the plant bars away, because he is seems like creeping away from it, to pull away from it, even though it's got no ears. I'm sure that it probably just felt the vibrations on the ground or something. So it also has more of a thinking of Brandon said that big head of it. So it forms a plan to get him out. So he ends up telling someone to get him some food, and he said, okay, I'll do it, but you don't get any dessert. So he goes to the market and buys some ground round beef to satisfy the hunger of the giant plant. If the thing already has a taste for human flesh, what makes you think that a side beef will be able to quench the hunger of this beast? It makes no sense. So anyway, ways away, the creature gets my out of the register and dials up Audrey's phone number on the big rotary dial, and he summons her over, because I guess she's he makes it, his tentacles make it look like he's going to be that scene with canoodling with somebody else. So Audrey pissed off at this because we were gonna love and get married and stuff. She runs over to the shop in full wedding dress and full wedding gown, no veil though. And this next part is kind of Evil Dead slash hentai-ish, because the creature, the withering creature, ends up wrapping its arms, its tentacle around her body, and go inside and outside her dress. So it looks like she's gonna be assaulted in so many different ways, violated. So fortunately, they don't do that, and you just cut it when Seymour gets back, and you see the creature devouring her with only her legs hanging out the mouth, like a cartoon. And Seymour ends up trying to shoot it with a big pistol, with Tomino's pistol. What in God's name makes you think that you could take out a giant flower creature with a pistol, with a handgun? I mean, how even in the first movie, when Seymour saw that we're getting out of control, he went inside of it with a big cleaver, and then it ended up sprouting out little flowers of itself with with the faces of the victims in it, like the Warner Brother cartoons. So anyway, it's Seymour trying to shoot the damn thing, it not giving up, and he eventually gets Audrey out of this mouth of this creature, but she's still alive, but barely. Even though it's very unbelievable that you would have something that big with such powerful digestive juices in its mouth, but she's fine. There's no acid burns, no digestive things on her clothes or her hair, which is the only time that you actually get this hair get messed up at all during the entire movie. So that's actually really weird. So he ends up taking her out, killing her right before he dies in her arms. And she died in his arms. So that, like the 80s song goes, you just died in your arms tonight. So at the end, he actually he does something really stupid, I think. He actually gives her body back to Audrey 2. And he slowly, almost ceremoniously, eats her up. I'm gonna eat you up. Now, this is really stupid because why? Why would you even give this creature back something that he killed? You would think it'd be more respectful to him, to her memory, if he would just take her out back and give her a nice Christian or whatever burial. No, not give it to the plant that would easily make her into mulch or whatever, or fertilizer. And that's plain stupid. So, when he tried to kill it with a big axe, it doesn't work that good. And he tried to threaten his balls, and by literally ramming one of his tentacles close to his happy sack. So that's very funny that he can control Seymour that way. This version of Audrey 2 is more gung-ho, more deadly. It's got more of a volition to do stuff on its own, rather than letting people come to it, letting prey come to it from the first movie. And it's also got a little bit of a sassy mouth on it too, because it says tough kitties. I've heard that somewhere before, but I don't know where it was from. He said that twice, and he says shit twice, shit once. And the first customer come back and he been taking clippings from this creature when it was born, so it was able to breed other little creatures too. So it seemed more like, I don't know, there's gonna be more of these little things, and it's really, really, really funny that when this little bud is up there and in a vertical position, like in the first part of the movie, and then you see it go down, and then you see, look at the camera, and it's like, and then it puts on a grin, much like that of the Grinch from the cartoon, in which the smile goes from ear to ear. So it's very, very creepy. Really homage to that movie. Big green monsters. So we know from just seeing that even if he were to kill the original RG2, this little bastard would take over RG2's spot. And then he says it's hopeless. And my love, love, and he sacrificed himself by going into the plant. So he ends up getting eaten up by the plant, and then gets put into he gets heaven with woman. Well, the dentist, the abusive dentist boyfriend, goes to hell. And then the plant, but left side of its pot, and it spreads its roots everywhere. And then you see, it does the song Big Green Mother from Outer Space. Mother, and it's so good because it's little bag of branches there, being little pieces of pods of new plants. So it's real funny because you got the big one, then you have 6 or 7 little ones, and you're like, It's so funny because one thing I noticed is that the little pods have different colors than the first pod in the beginning of the movie, from the inside of the mouth. So anyway, it's real funny because these little bastards spread throughout the city, and then the first customer makes like a bunch of commercials for the plant. You can buy this new plant made from more snakes, and they spread throughout the country and in the world and all that. Of course. So then you see all in different spots in people's homes and on TVs and stuff, saying, buy this new plant, follow the new trend of plant owners around the world. And nobody can figure out that these things are evil and the alien species and like exterminate us. Which I find hard to believe, there'd be at least one person out there that would be like seeing more, that they would pick up on the fact that these are clearly evil, and when they ran out of blood from the host, from the owners, you would think that they would go after like animals like cats, dogs, and then move into bigger prey like goats or bigger animals, bigger dogs or bigger cats or something like that. So then they go into like more like elephants and lying in bed on my all that. So the army can't stop these giant creatures when they get bigger, and tanks can't do it. The only thing that they could possibly stop something that big is a Power Rangers or say Gojira. And the effects are still brilliantly done in this movie. They show him going in New York, and they show him going on top of the Statue of Liberty, a few plants. You show him come out of the water. You show him in I think it's in Peoria, where they show a subway train actually going into the mouth of one of the big ones. It's just so funny. And then you see him creep around the buildings, going in the streets where everyone's packing and screaming. It actually reminded me a little bit of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know, with the pods being in every building and room and stuff in the house and stuff. You know, where everything is like sacred and people are sensitive and stuff. So anyway, it's a real fun treat. Not only that, but they also have like a parody of the movie Patton, where General Patton is standing in front of a gigantic American flag, and you see three little pods, the little baby pods, the singing and stuff. It's just so adorable. But yeah, at this time they seem so so into destruction and death, and making us into the new dominant species. And I would think to myself, if guns and tank shells and mortars can't do squat anything, the only thing that would take them out is an atom bomb. And you can't very well put an atom bomb into, like, say, probably an area or something rather like that. Multiple big cities and multiple rural areas around the country. That wouldn't be too good. Although I think that these things probably wouldn't survive too well in Canada or Alaska, or Siberia, or something cold like that. So anyway, do I like this movie? Oh fuck yeah! It's the best remake I think I've seen so far, and everything in this movie is excellent. All of the actors are excellent. All the songs are pointlessly stupid and very entertaining too. I mean, the singer can do good singing performances. Even cameos like Bill Murray and Jack Kenny, it was really, really good. And I highly recommend you see this movie because Audrey 2 is inevitable. We must all bow down to the green overlords. And for no shame in saying that we're screwed. If anything like this really did happen, where it infiltrated us and got to be such a big nuisance, we'll all be screwed. These sleeper enemies, they'll go really screwed. Unless it's a blob or, like, say, the thing from another world, which I recently just saw the game. So, the 1982 version is like that type of deceptive infiltration unit. I don't think that in the first Little Shop of Horrors movie, I don't think they had the plant actually propagate. I think it was just like one main plant, causing all the trouble. But in this one, there are a lot more from the clippings and from it producing offspring for itself, which means that with asexual, with a voice that sounds like a sassy gay man, real funny. I highly recommend this movie to anyone. If you're gonna see the movies, see this one first, and maybe the first one second, or you can always see the Blood Moon version first, and then see this next. So, I thank you for watching my movie on my review of Little Shop of Horrors, or I should say Little Shop of Horrors E6 version. This movie is stupendous. It's great. It's beautiful. It shows the greatness of practical effects. Audrey 2 will blow your mind. It's so good. So the motion is so great. It's so fluid. It's so real looking. It's so real looking because it's right there. It's also a thinking plant because it's scheming, it's conniving, it's manipulative. It won't stop until it gets what it wants. Which is more blood, more carnage, more of itself. Now, if it was so weak, why would it need help? Why would it need more food? Because it's manipulating people. First is the innocent dentist, and then it wants more. Then Seymour's got to give it more food by force. Although I disagree with giving his love of his life. She deserved better than that. First she was abused by the jackass boyfriend, and then she was her body was violated and desecrated by Audrey 2. So I think that Seymour shouldn't have done that. I think he should chop it up, try to burn the goddamn thing, and that would be the end of it. Or chop it up with the fire axe. Why the hell would you want to try to shoot this thing? I think that could also be an influence on the flood from Halo. But yeah. I thank you for watching my review of this too. The performances were excellent. The singing was excellent. Animation was great too. Everything was just pitch perfect and beautiful. And let's see what else there. I would like to see what would happen. Like the international community, they saw that the United States was going downhill because of the sponsors. How would they respond? Would they stick up with their Godzilla or giant robot to try to take them back? Or would they the problem that you can't cross the ocean until it does, and then Big Green Mother from outer space is their problem now. I would like to know if you think a gecko would be able to take down the king of monsters of Godzilla. Both modern or old Godzilla. So anyway, happy birthday for 2025. No, I did this for that because of the big green man. This is one thing that there's one plant that you don't want to keep in your house. Like Raul said in UNG, it's harvest time before it cuts the plant. By the way, I think that plant will also influence by Audrey too. So yeah. What do you think I'm gonna give it? I'm gonna give it my cool happy face Liverpool. I think that in the first version, I think Audrey and Tim will get away from the plant for it kills them both. I love this movie. There's all the praise I can give it. If you like what you see here and you want more of my videos, you always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me by call me or text me at 631-707-3707 for any input on my future stuff or future ideas for this channel. Also, you can reach me on you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PMeltonPro. Also, you can get my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you guys and girls who like this type of stuff. We make dark comedy stuff because it really gets talking in this movie. The feed me and stuff, and it's like that. It paints a very dark picture for the future of America. That it takes over the subject for liberty, a symbol of hope, a symbol of promise, all taken over by a plant, a sentient plant that just wants to multiply itself and it wants to develop humans. Kind of like it's kind of nature taking back the earth, more or less. That's kind of funny. Kind of the magic fairies from Gully run amok. So yeah, or Poison Ivy. That's how Poison Ivy would kill everybody. By having a lot of trees running around, quite literally. So, I salute you guys. Again, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Sayonara. Goodbye. Aloha to all you girls and guys in Ancient Land. I'll see you in the next video. Sayonara, ciao. And remember, feed me some more.